Yes! Here we go!
Let's go, KR. Before we get into the topics of today, and we have a couple of interesting ones, I want to start with the usual Reddit segment.
Mm-hmm.
A man worried that he falls short after going through girlfriend's phone. The title is, but it was too long. No, I'm gonna skip the title. You guys gonna read the text. That's gonna be more interesting.
I just hope this isn't what I think what it's about, but okay.
Okay. And I quote: So I was going through my girlfriend's phone, which
Recipe for disaster, by the way, but okay.
what? What did you say?
That's the recipe for disaster.
As a recipe for disaster.
But continue.
So I was going through my girlfriend's phone, which I know I shouldn't have been doing, and ended up finding a lot. And the a lot is written in caps lock. So it's a lot. So
All caps. Like MF Doom.
okay.
This is what I thought was this about. Continue, please.
And I ended up finding a lot of corn saved
In her
in her girlfriend's phone.
his girlfriend.
His girlfriend's phone, yeah.
Hmm.
Phone. BBC corn in specific.
Is he white, by the way?
Let me finish, KR.
Okay, sorry.
Let me finish.
I'm ready. Okay.
That's how she feels when she's anyway. For context, I am not black.
You're cooked, man. You're
Wait,
cooked.
wait, I'm not done yet. I am not black,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm average sized.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple of days since this happened, and I'm conflicted on what to do. Ever since I found it, ever since I found it, I see her different. I used to think of her as a sweet and innocent
That's where you already went wrong, money. Oh, jeez.
woman. But this changes my view. She doesn't know I found it, and it's been in my head ever since I did. How do I approach this? If this were your friend, KR, what would be your advice?
Yeah, this is a tough one, my man. You might have to become a CUCK. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my.
I'm just kidding. No. No, but
I thought you were rapping a Wu song, a Wu Tang song. METHOD.
CUCH. Anyway, uh, this is a tough one. So let's go back to begin with. So everyone has a fantasy. Usually the things you watch isn't the same thing that you're willing to take. Let's put it this way.
Wait a minute.
That's for a woman, but also with a man. You're not taking it, but in this case, I'm not saying that you're taking it because then you're gonna get
KR,
lost.
stop. You're
Don't
just making it. You're just making it worse right now. What you're trying. Let me speak, KR.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
you're saying is.
Translate it for the people.
What you're saying is the idea of the fantasy is one thing, but
Yeah.
actually doing it in real life is another thing. And you're saying there's a difference between the two.
There is sometimes, not always, because some people might want to marry a midget. Uh, spit it out, spit it out. Oh,
Oh man,
man. No,
puzzle.
but all jokes aside, so that's one thing, right? First of all, I think w- he thought of her as a sweet girl. You can basically women have spectrum. There's a spectrum, and they all can move within that spectrum of sweet girl to a scammer. It only takes the right man to open that part of the spectrum, usually. But you got to
Okay.
ask yourself, how come the girl that I know used to be hanging out with drug dealers? I mean, that's the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Sweet girl that hangs out with dealers.
Yeah.
But I don't have actually a advice for him. Just I mean, you open that door, you can do two things. You can walk through it, ask her that what her fantasy are and whether she wants to or has performed those fantasies in the past. That will tell you something about the future.
That might be a bad idea, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Okay. But hey, this is one that I'm talking about the
Yeah, I
option.
know, I know, I know, I know.
The second option is learn how to put it down and back in so she forgets about that fantasy.
Yeah.
Break her back like Nathan Wade was breaking Fanny's back for that 600K.
Oh man, the 50, the 50 was an extra. It was an additional.
Additional breaker. Oh, Nathan.
But so
No, but well, what do you think?
I think that this is what happens when you go through people's phone.
Yeah.
So I read the comments, and a lot of comments were suggesting that. So a lot of the reactions were saying, "Hey, well, going through your phone wasn't cool," you know.
Mhm.
Um, Another one said, "Hey, don't
How
you
long have they
watch?"
been together, by the way?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
It seems like something that a newly it's a new relationship, it seems, because usually when you're longer together, you talk about these things. Well, at least I hope you people
Yeah.
talk
Well,
about this.
yeah. Well, someone said, "Don't you watch corn yourself? It's all fantasy. I suggest not bringing it up and forgetting
Oh,
about it."
well, it's not
But
all
he
fan.
reacted. But he reacted to this one. He said,
What did he say? He saw with his own eyes.
he said, I do, and you're right, but I don't save it." He had a lot saved, and it was a specific type that's bothering me. But
What
in
is
any
a
case,
lot? Though?
a lot of people were saying, a lot of people were saying, yeah, this is what happens when you open up the phone. But now the Pandora's box is open, and what are you gonna do to mitigate it? It will always stick with you. Um, it can be, first of all, if you say that you went through the phone, that's gonna start an argument.
No, you should
And
bring it up very different. You shouldn't say I'm going to your phone. You just start
and yeah, but
talking about
no, okay, but
Rico
this is my
style. You gotta go
yeah, but
suave. They say
yeah,
not
I,
suave, but
yeah, and this is what I so my reaction to that, why I think that might be a bad idea is
what?
you already so asking questions, because in law, as a lawyer, when you're interrogating or you're questioning, there's a rule: don't ask a question if you're not sure what the answer will be. That's the first one. Second of all, don't ask a question if you're not willing to live with whatever the answer will be or can be. So it can very well be that he'll approach it the Rico Suave way, and the reaction will be, "Oh, I like to Netflix and chill," for example. But then he would know that that's not the truth, and he would be really like, "Oh, this woman is really lying to me." So right now, it's something that he needs to deal with it or not. What I would do, KR,
Lean into it.
imagine, KR,
Lean
imagine.
into it. You shouldn't. You
eh, I just say my. So it you did something that, in my opinion, you shouldn't have. Now you have two choices. Either you stay and you shouldn't do
yeah,
anything. I mean, stay and just stay with her and just do you. Make sure that you're doing you. Make sure that you're so not while watching. Corn. I'm saying, like in life, right? You need to to book progress in your life and things like that, and she will automatically stay attracted to you. But if she has a fantasy, then she might. I mean, there's always that risk, right? But some people don't have anything on their phones and they still have a fantasy, and I mean, at the
they
end of the day,
do.
whether someone does it or not, it's one thing. But if you can't live with it, then you need to break up with her, because it's not the I don't think it's fair for
But what?
her either to be I don't think it's fair for her either to once, yeah, I don't know, to feel guilty about, not that yeah, I don't know, something that was supposed to be private in the first place. Let me put it like that.
uh, So here's the thing. Or what? I don't understand why would you escalate that quickly, like breaking up with her. I mean, make it a talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you're assuming that she'll say the truth. Care. Some
This
people
question
don't.
doesn't say even
Some
so.
some people are very afraid to tell the truth because they're scared of the
That's
consequences.
because you're not comfortable with each other to talk about these things freely.
That's a good point.
I mean, I don't want to bring it to me, but you have to give
No, let's go
people.
there.
Let's go there. You want to give people the freedom
They
to be themselves and
they need
not
to
try
yeah,
to live up to a um
a
a
fantasy.
a
No
a
pun intended.
brand, or how do you say that, a brand, or a character they've created towards you. That's
Yeah,
then you're both are living a lie, and that's in that way. If you have to
yeah.
hide your fantasies from your partner, I think that's a bad thing.
I think so too. I think
Because
so too.
but then again, it all starts from the beginning. It all starts from the beginning. Where did you start? The reason
Yeah,
why this is the problem is where they started at, not where they are at now.
yeah. Well, Care, it's easy for you to talk as a black man, but my point is this. my
What's her
my
name?
my
Where,
point is this.
where she lay her head?
My my point
Is
is
the
this.
name Fanny on it?
I know people. I know for a fact. This isn't hypothetical. I
Mhm.
know guys who are not black, not white either, but they're just not black. They
Beige.
feel they feel very uncomfortable. So they become very insecure if they know that she had a black boyfriend in the past.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable, like to the point that and
It's
this
like,
is
get
I know
out.
one,
I don't fit anymore.
one particular guy I know, not a friend, but this guy is like buff, so he's a bodybuilder,
Yeah. He took too
and
much steroids
he would still feel insecure in a situation like that.
because he took
So
too much steroids. It's
yeah,
fun.
yo, come on, man. Now I get it. Now I get it. But I'm saying it's not as some people can't live. Some people really can't deal with it,
This is
and
the
so
thing, right? And
and
this is
and if you can't deal with it, that's what I meant to say. If you can't deal with it, then you should go, because what will happen is that you will stay and then you will start. Uh, to your point, if you are not in a relationship, we can talk directly with one another. you will start doing things passive aggressively.
Yes,
And
that's.
that's like, if you can't deal with it, if you're not willing to deal with it or accept it, then
But it doesn't solve the problem. The problem is not her.
no, it's the size, you mean.
It, no, that's not even the problem. The problem is he's the problem.
Yeah, he is the problem.
It's the cure. Do you think by running away it solves the problem? The next girl might have had a ginormous white PP. Who knows?
But
Now,
but I'm just saying, yeah, continue.
the problem is he has to lean into it to get over that. You need to lean into a problem
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah.
solve it. You shouldn't run away from the problem. So
Yeah,
you
the
need to
problem is inside. The problem lives within him. The
within
fact that
him.
the fact that he went through the girlfriend's phone in the first place is a
eh,
sign of insecurity.
Gives the heck who she had before. She's
Well,
mine. Well,
okay, let's move on from that
no,
because
no, but that's the thing. And if she moves on from you, she's not yours anymore. It's I don't know, man. People make their life so complex
yeah,
without
unnecessarily.
unnecessarily.
Yeah.
And it starts with your own. It starts within.
Yeah.
So good luck to that guy. If he doesn't work on himself, he can even date a midget and feel big and still have the same insecurities because she had a black midget before him.
All right.
Oh man.
All right. Before we proceed, I want to welcome everyone that's tuned in on the Double Thought Show. Before we continue with the main topics of today, remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Rate the show by pressing the like button. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And don't forget as well to comment. Let us know what you think, or yeah, what you think about what we talk about. Whether you agree or disagree. This is an open platform. The previous story, KR, was a crazy one. So please let us know what you guys think about the story. What would you advise him in that situation? Please let us know. With that being said,
Comment.
we're going to proceed. We have a couple of topics today. In today's show, we're going to talk about Shannon Sharpe and Mase. They've been beefing. We're going to talk about Dame Dash and him facing Setback. Dame Dash KR is a very controversial person. I like his style, but
Polarizing. I would.
it's very polarizing, definitely. But yeah, we're gonna talk more about that. What setbacks is he facing, and how does his future look like? And we have a couple of other interesting stories. We have a couple of interesting stories as well.
Oh,
Some
man.
funny stories to discuss. This is a crazy, 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 crazy world. With that being said, KR, I think we can move to the first topic.
Let's do this. Ah man. Talking about black guys.
Yo, come on. What the segue, man?
Uh,
What a segue, man.
Mace
Yo,
Shannon Sharpe for calling him a fake pastor. Hey man, Shannon Sharpe has been feeling himself a bit too much, maybe, since his rise to fame, to YouTube fame. Let's put it this way. He got after the Cat Williams show. He's been a bit out of pocket. I think he's not the humble Shannon anymore. He's the big chest Shannon, pounding on his chest and calling people out because
yeah.
now he's a internet celebrity.
I
And he
think
called out Mike Epps.
mhm,
Talking reckless about Mike Epps. Mike
mhm.
Epps said he's gonna slap him when he sees him. But then they basically made a truce. I think was a truce or whatever. They made peace with each other.
Mhm. It
And
was, yeah, it was. They met each other because at one point they were saying, Shannon was saying, you know, when I see you, I see you. And my cast was like, yeah, when you see me, you will see me. But hey, just so you know, I don't have your muscles, but I do have muscle. So don't be. I have my own Tiffany Henyard situation right here. So you can come, but be prepared. And when they met, they talked it out and squashed the beef, basically.
I have a question. Why is always that black man had to have to do this? Like the beef stuff.
Yeah,
The internet beef.
it's a
Like
boasting. It's a, yeah, it's a boast.
yeah,
You're right. You're right.
what?
I
It
think
has
it's
not.
part of the. I think it's part of the culture. It's part of the macho bravado. But indeed, there are other culture that are macho, but they don't do the things that we do. It's like,
Who's
I,
we? I don't speak
um,
French.
that's true. Well, you are black, right? So,
I don't categorize me. Yo soy dominicano, papi. Me no black.
so you got the same hair as me. What is the Godfrey
Me
the
no
other
black,
energy?
man. Me no black.
No black, no black.
Dominicano, man.
Yeah,
No, but all
God,
jokes aside,
funny.
this
Yeah,
is I think the biggest problem, right? The internet beefing, and this might have spilled into a actual beef where someone gets slapped. That's always the problem, I think, with this kind of stuff. People don't talk to each other, or whether you when you say something about it, they see it as a, a straight up criticism towards them. You're trying to beef, and it turns out it's
yeah.
just you giving your opinion.
I think so. To react to what you said first, Shannon is. I don't feel like Shannon is beating his chest as a way to as a way of arrogance. What I think is that since the Cat Williams episode and then following that the Monique episode, he's probably got a lot of flack, right? He's probably got a lot of criticism. They're saying, hey, this is now a platform for drama to air, like his own Wendy Williams, Wendy
Mhm.
Williams at night. In any case, we heard about the story, the news of Wendy Williams's health.
Yeah, man,
So
that's crazy,
that's a
man.
very tough one. Yeah. So yeah,
Yes, the same with Bruce Willis, I heard.
same thing as Bruce Willis. Yeah, the
Yeah.
same thing as Bruce Willis. So yeah, that's you don't wish that for anybody, right? So,
Well,
but in any case,
well, well. Let's be honest. People always say I don't wish it on anybody, but the ops might I
the
mean the
ops is
ultimate.
yeah. Well, the ops might, but the I feel like that he's being more it to him. It's not like the fame, but now you know how people are, KR. They will raise you up, and then very same people will want to see you come down as soon as you do something that they don't like, and that's what basically happening. But because the shows both Nightcap and Club Shay Shay are those two platforms are booming very fast.
Yeah.
The criticisms are also getting, they're also receiving it very fast. And I think it appears to me like Shannon is like defending himself, like because
What,
he's finding himself being attacked
but
by
what's the
people who never used to attack him because everyone liked him before that,
what but
except for Skip.
what's the what he said about Mace? Was it a response or was it an attack? Who started it?
It was a response because May said, and I'm gonna paraphrase, yo, these guns don't mean anything in the hood, man. You think you can come here, etc., etc. But it wasn't a beef. It wasn't a diss.
But it wasn't a
It
diss.
was a it was a comment.
But it's true. The
It,
guns don't.
it's it's true. It was a comment, and I think that we should have people have long toes, man. They're easily triggered. So what happened was that the way he responded, saying church and things like that, I think
A
it
violation.
was a violation. And Mace was like, "You think?" And I,
I'll play
if I
it.
see, yeah, okay,
Should I play it?
yeah, play it. Yeah,
Okay, let's play it. Let's see what Mace had to say because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's important. Fair use, shout out to it is what it is. I like the platform, and
it's a
they
great
really
platform.
are building something there.
We should also look for a
Yeah, a stat baby.
stat baby. Yeah, we a
Your
stat
boy
baby.
Can you hear it?
chose to target me about the sets and the working out and all that. He called me a fake pastor and all that. I want to address it. I want to address it.
By the way, that's something they never do on their platform. They avoid the beef part from the platform. When they want to beef, they beef off the platform.
Yeah, usually it's like just they go live, right?
Yeah,
But like individually, not on the platform.
individually, not on the platform. But I think this was maybe at that moment he thought I need to address it. Let's see what he has to say.
Who called you this? What's going? I'm late to the party. You gotta like
I
you
don't
be.
want to
You
say his
always.
name. I don't want to
Oh,
say his name. When we was talking about the dips and the sets and all of that, and Mike Epps.
oh my gosh. So
Yeah,
nigga, well, oh Shannon said something to you.
he called me a fake pastor. Somebody
Oh
send it to
man.
me. I wanted to tell him, put the camera on me. I'm just gonna go, from the jump. Listen.
You know, this is exactly what I always do when I know RJ is about to jump out of the window. I gave him the camera. So put the camera on Pastor Mace for him to preach how it goes down. Let's take a look.
Listen, Shannon. I'm not the one to play with. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna take that road. I'm gonna take a different road with you.
Stop.
Listen, let me start with
Hey,
respect,
yo, wait a
and
second,
let me
man.
end your boy.
You said I'm not gonna play with you. No. And then he said, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna take a different route.
Yeah.
So he was about to go in, and then he said, "No, I'm gonna take a different route." Okay, proceed. Because when I saw it, I was like, Mace is definitely the bigger man,
Pause.
hypothetically speaking.
Pause.
Chose to target me about the sets and the working out and all that. He called me a fake pastor and all that. I want to address it.
Oh, wait a
I want
second.
to
My bad.
address it with class, okay? You started out being very aggressive with Ja Morant pops at a Laker game. If you are for black people, this is not the way to carry yourself. And let me go further than that. You wanted to be tough with Mike Epps, and you settled quicker than Diddy and Cassie. Listen,
Yikes. That's a bar right there.
That's a bar.
and thirdly, you call yourself coming at me, right? You want to be aggressive with me, right? Listen, you showed poise, respect, wherewithal, resolve, compassion, reverence for Skip Bayless. Why are you so aggressive anytime somebody black say something? The man said, put your glasses on, and you put your glasses back on. Don't play with me. Put your glasses with class back on, Shannon. I respect
man.
you, and I do not want to go there with you. I respect you.
Damn. We might gotta call up big homie Stephen A. Smith to resolve this, man.
Why?
No, because I met Shannon once, and I'm just because this is new to me. I'm just finding this out. You know, you
Yeah.
always tell me right on the spot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
shit.
never.
Shit, knock the phone over right here, man.
Listen, and he made a statement about me being a fake gangster. It didn't really rub me the wrong way because as a Disney client, gangster is not something to talk about. So let's just leave that out and stick
That
with
you a
this.
fake gangster?
Yeah, he said I'm a pastor gangster or something like that. And I would tell him back on Shannon, giving good advice like, hey, you really
Anyway, think that we get the main points.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
I think I want to talk a little bit more about what you said. Why are black people more prone to doing this?
mhm.
And I'm gonna add another word to that sentence because I don't think that we are the only people that do these type of things. Why are they? Why are why do black people beef publicly?
Mm, mm,
Why is it
mm.
always? Why is there always a beef
Publicly,
between?
that is true.
It's always a public beef.
You hear
I
about the
mean,
beef between other cultures, but you don't see it publicly. You hear
don't-
that is true.
and it always happens between your heroes, right? So when I say your, I'm not talking about your specific heroes. I know what you're about to say, but it's like people you look up to.
Yours is not French, so
No, but let's say you have
no, I'm just kidding. Continue.
artists, they just start beefing with one another, and in no other culture do you see it. Now, I have a theory. If you listen to hip hop and rap music, a lot of times it's like I'm better than you.
Hmm.
So it's where the music is about I'm good, no
I
one
might
can
be, I
stop
might
me.
be, I might be being robbed by my record label, but I'm better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's always that it's that energy, and I believe that that energy is deeply rooted in the African American culture. And I say African American culture because if you look at other cultures that have black people, they have their own problems. They have their own, yeah, beefs. Their own culture, subculture.
Hmm.
And but there is something that is very common in all the countries that used to be uh, colonies,
Hmm.
which are a lot of countries, and that is
And islands.
and islands, and that is that they will speak to each other a certain way, but not to the
Yeah.
colonizer, not to Massa.
Uh,
And Massa is not there anymore, and they're also not slaves anymore, but they will talk to each other a certain way. And that's what Mace was alluding to
hmm.
when Skip said, and I quote, "Put your glasses back on," end quote.
Bro,
And
talk to me like
Shannon
that,
and
bro.
Mace is saying that Shannon did. I don't remember him putting the glasses back
I
on.
don't remember that either, but
Sorry.
his demeanor should have
Even if he put the glasses 5 minutes later back on, Mace would say, "Oh, it's for that reason." But I'm gonna check it out. Maybe it was in my mind. He didn't put it on
right
like
away,
right away. No, I don't think
but
so.
he didn't say anything back. That's what I think is he's alluding to right here. So it wasn't like, okay, Skip, you're out of line by saying that. I'm not your son. That's crazy, by the way. Talking crazy to a grown man like that.
Yeah, it's very crazy. In any case, yeah. So, but I think this also will be squashed. I don't think this should be a beef, but I think I really like Shannon. Shannon, I really want him to win in life, and he is winning in life. But you can't. You you need to move. You can't take everything so seriously and personally. But
Yeah,
I think he will get accustomed to it. Uh,
he
yeah,
needs to humble
with
down a
time.
little bit, man. I think it might be getting to his head a little bit because it's too much back to back, in my opinion. It's too much back to back where he's talking crazy to people back to back. And it's unwarranted. I mean, maybe Epps was a bit also out of line by calling him Medea or something like that. Wasn't it Epps, Mike? You said
Yeah,
something about Medea. I mean, that was also out of line, maybe.
it. Yeah.
But what May said was fairly mild. It was just a remark. Let it
But
fly.
if you're gonna get mad at those small things, then yeah,
You
what's
should
really
get
the
mad at people telling you to take off your put on your glasses as well. And that's I think the biggest problem here. Hey, whatever it is, I do agree with you. I like Shannon as well. Um, but I'm always balanced when it comes to people I like. If they're doing something idiotic, I'll tell you.
Mhm.
If they don't, I'll tell you as well. This time, he should humble it a little bit, man.
Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about someone who's never been humble. Damon Dash.
Yo, the segues are crazy.
But it is true. He's never been humble.
That's
That's
true.
why
Yeah.
he's not. He doesn't have business partners anymore.
Yeah. 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 Well, you can argue that because he's never been humble, and I think if you ask him, he will say that he's humble. But he's always been aggressive, and that's also gotten him to a certain point, right? Maybe he got some breakthrough opportunities that he wouldn't have gotten if he wasn't that aggressive. But there comes a point where you can't do that. So it's and those you I mean you can always attribute short-term goals, short-term wins with tactics like that. But if in the long run you're gonna burn bridges and people will remember, and if they can find a way to keep you out, they will.
They will. They will. I think that's the reason why Jay Z cut
Ask
him out
or
at a certain point.
ask Antonio Brown.
What happened to AB?
He can't get in. He can't
Maybe
get in the NFL, man.
that might be true, but I mean, maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe
I
he
would I would
realized,
say that I would say that too.
maybe he realized the CTA has been kicking in, and he's not doesn't want to go back in. But at the end of the day, I think so. The problem with Damon is as follows: the court has ordered him to sell his Rockefeller shares to settle a
Mm.
debt. So this is what Hollywood Unlocked is saying about this story. Damon Dash is facing a significant setback as a New York judge has ruled that he must sell his shares in Rockefeller, a decision that comes against his wishes and those of his former friend and business partner Sean J.C. Carter. This ruling stems from Damon Dash's failure to satisfy a 800,000 judgment awarded to a movie producer, Josh Weber, over a defamation and copyright infringement case related to a 2016 film, Dear Frank. So this is the problem a lot of times with Damon, right? He oversteps a lot, and when you overstep, you have to be able to correct that in the right way.
What do you mean
So in
by
this case, we,
over
we defame someone,
defame someone?
defamation case.
Yeah.
He lost it and a copyright. So he lost that case.
Yeah.
If you're if you want to defame someone, make sure you have the money to pay for it, or don't talk crazy.
Yeah.
And also copyright infringement. Come on, man, what are we doing? There have been talks that he's been doing some weird stuff with copywriting in the past. So anyway, I don't know what's true or not because I wasn't there, but That will get you in trouble. What else do they say? The legal friction between began when Weber dismissed Dash from directing a film for Muddy Waters Pictures, alleging Dash is unfit for the role. Dash retaliated by accusing Weber of commandeering the movie footage and then distributing it under a new title, The Last. The conflict escalated in a court battle, culminating in Weber targeting Dash's shares in Rockefeller to collect on the judgment owed to him. Sometimes when someone doesn't want to pay, you have to seek another way for payment.
Sometimes when someone doesn't want to pay, you need to seek. Okay, gotcha.
You,
Yeah,
am
I was
I-
just processing what you said.
I'm right, right?
You
You don't
need to
want to
find
pay.
You need to find a way to obligate them to pay, I would say.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And hey, Damon had the shares on his name.
Wow. But I have to say, there's a chance. There's a chance that so there's a chance that there was like some other security rights on the so that the shares were collateral as well, or if they weren't collateral, that they maybe had a preservative attachment or something that might have hampered him from moving the shares to an entity or something.
So this is what the other part. Jay-Z and another Rockefeller co-founder, Kareem Biggsburg, voiced their opposition to the sale of Dash's shares, pointing to to the company's bylaws that require board approval for such transaction. However, their efforts were nullified by U.S. Magistrate Robert W. Lehrberger's decisive 15-page ruling. Lehrberger clarify that Dash's one-third ownership stake in the label is considered personal property legally permitted to seizure to fulfill the court's judgment. I know how this is gonna work.
How?
After what they can do is they can move the properties within that company to another company.
Yeah, afterwards. Yeah, but so the assets they would be moved.
Move the
The
assets to
assets,
another company and then leave it an empty company. I'm not saying that this what they
yeah,
should
but
do.
but I mean, it's depending on what the bylaws say about that as well. So, is board approval needed? Do you need, to do the shareholders have a say in it? Technically speaking, it's always possible.
This is a
But on the
wild
other hand,
thing.
if it was, they could have done it before that already.
Maybe they've done it already. Who knows?
Yeah. I don't, in any case,
Can
what?
they do that, by the way, before this judgment? Could they have moved the assets before they knew this judgment? I mean, you have to as when you're in court, you never know what happens. So maybe you already moved it, and it's empty
Well,
shell.
in there's a rule. It's called Axio Poliana, and I'm looking at whether it's also so that's Latin, but it's basically, I don't know if in Alf I don't know to what extent it's also you have similar rules in the states, because it's Axio Poliana is so you have two types of legal infrastructure in the
Mhm.
West. You have like legal infrastructure that derive from Roman law, and you have legal infrastructure that derive from uh, Britain.
I can argue there are three.
Okay, what's the third one?
The one they use in all banana republics.
Okay, so I'm talking about like a democracy right now, right?
Okay, okay.
And in Roman law, so civil law, you call it. So you have common law and civil law. So civil law are usually UK and all the colonies, the rising, all former colonies of the UK have common law. If it's not all, then it's almost all of them.
Mm.
And in common law, case law is very important. On the other hand, you have civil law, which derive from the Roman law, more Roman law influence, and those are all the other countries, like Europe, especially
Mhm.
the democratic countries in Europe. In any case, and actually, Poliana is that you can in Roman law, I know, so the civil law legal framework, I know that it's not possible to it's possible to sell shares like you're mentioning, but at the same time, if a transaction was clearly made to avoid paying people money, or if a civil transaction was purely made or with the knowledge that by completing the transaction a person that would have right to money would lose it, you can ask the judge to reverse the transaction.
Mm.
So it's not like they can, I mean, technically speaking, they could, but it would clearly be
Malice.
malice.
Okay.
And I
Chances
don't
of
know
it.
to what I think there's probably a similar rule in the common law legal framework as well.
Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. I mean, then I wish Dame is he has burned so many bridges throughout the years, and I think that's the biggest problem where he's at now, where he cannot build whatever he wants to build because he doesn't have. No one wants to work with him.
No,
No.
but he says that money isn't everything. It's about the experience. It's about family.
Hmm.
About
You know
pursuing
who
your
also talks like
passion.
that? You know also
Who?
who talks like that?
Who?
People who lose.
I guess so.
Money is never important when you have it, or when you don't have it. It's
Yeah,
always when you're in the middle, when you're trying to reach it.
yeah. But again, hey, I
This
like
is luck.
Dame Dash's. I like Dame Dash's philosophies. I think I it's just the way he goes about doing business can be disruptive for his own for himself.
Yep.
But I think business wise, the fact that he says, be own everything, be an entrepreneur, at least it there's a place for that. That's a message that someone needs to hear. It's just the how you go about doing it that you should perhaps look for another mentor.
By the way, someone has to push them up. So I think you got to understand as well. If everyone is not an entrepreneur, there are no people who's willing to push them up. So maybe
But just like Kelly Osborne, I think it was Kelly Osborne, right? Who said, yeah, yeah, she said, uh, was it on The View or one of those shows? I don't know. She's on one of those shows. And they were saying, yes, talking about, no,
who's
we need
sitting.
to.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a second. Who is sitting and waiting for Kelly Osbourne's opinion on anything?
That's not the point, man.
Okay,
When
maybe
you
I overstepped.
when you see when you hear the opinion, you'll understand that we want to hear more of it. That can be content for the
What's the
show.
opinion?
They were talking about the immigrant situation, and this was like years ago already. Why
Mm.
it's important that you help immigrants because I mean that they come in your country because they're fleeing from a very bad situation. And she was like, yeah, but why? um I don't understand why people, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, I don't
Mhm.
understand why people are so against it. You say they all should go, they all should go. I don't think you thought it through. Who's gonna mop your floors or something to that extent? I think mop your floors is like a good thing. It might have even been worse, what she said. Maybe like clean your toilets or something. Like it
Jeez.
was like and the women on the table were like, yeah, yeah. Huh? Wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she's a Trump supporter.
Oh, she actually said, "Who will clean toilets?" Yeah,
Oh
that's
man, this is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. Hey man. Anyway, whoever watches that show, for her opinion, good luck in life.
let me see if it's the view. Maybe it's not the view. I don't know. In any case, it's another. If it's not the view, it's one of those shows.
Anyway, hey, let's run to a couple of stories real quick to see what your opinion on it is, man. Let's
Okay.
go to Haiti's former first lady being indicted for the
Mm,
deletion of her own husband. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, 2021, there was a crazy situation where a squad of hired killers, killer bees, stormed the house of the then president, who, by the name of, I can't remember the guy's name. This is crazy. He was Jovenel Moise. He was a very loved president at the time, trying to turn the country around. And all of a sudden, Colombian hitmen who were hired by a security company in Miami, stormed the house, put a cap into Jovenel, and left the wife living. People were asking, who would do this? And as we always, I've said it in Monday's show, it's always the people closest to you who will stab you in the back. It seems like, or was it a setup? I don't know. What do you think? It seems like it was her, or was it a setup? Or are they setting her up for failure?
I mean, if she's indicted, I think it's.
They're
I
proof.
mean, they should have. Now, I can say, and guys, please let us know if you know anything about the Haitian system, Haitian country, how it works, the criminal system. But if this was like Venezuela, I would say, oh, this is probably this is probably a setup. I don't know. I don't know how it is in Haiti, but I'll tell you what though, the story is believable.
Okay.
So if, like I always say, if you're gonna lie, then lie as close. They say if don't lie, but if you're gonna lie, lie as closely to the truth as possible. Then if this is setup, it's a believable setup. Let me
Yeah.
put it like that.
Hey, it's crazy because the security came onto scrutiny for allegedly allowing the assassins into the presidential residence without resistance. And the police also failed to arrive in time after Moise called 911 from his ransacked bathroom. So it seems like it was an inside job, at least from a certain angle. Anyway, whatever happens to her, all I say is, sac passe, nabule.
Boomaye.
Yo, why did you have to do that? Hey, man, let's go to the next topic. Man arrested after trying to buy a Porsche with a check of 78 billion.
Yo.
Just when you think idiots don't exist anymore, they seem to pop up every week. So Connor James
Yo.
Litka wanted to buy a new Porsche, but ended up being arrested instead. The 20-year-old Bloomington, Indiana man allegedly presented a fake 78 million check as payment to employees to a Porsche dealer in St. Matthews, Kentucky. According to Waves News, Litka refused to take no for an answer and eventually was arrested. Most 21-year-olds dream of being able to walk into a Porsche dealership and pay cash for a brand new car. Unfortunately, for the vast majority of the people in that age, it's just a dream. However, Litka apparently was not going to let that mere fact that he didn't have enough money stop him from buying one. This is crazy, man. Who he didn't even think about this. Just give the check in the number. I can already imagine how it went down. He walks in and he says to them, "I have a check of 78 million. I want that Porsche right there. Here's the 70 million. But sir, you're overpaying by 77.7 million. What are you doing? Don't worry. It's a real check. You guys are being overpaid. I'm gonna make this the most expensive Porsche ever. Yeah,
crazy.
but that's only 200K. Doesn't matter. Keep the other 77 million
Hey, hey,
as the thing.
KR,
The culture is out of pocket.
KR, keep the change. I have, yo, KR, yo,
Yeah.
keep the change. I got more checks where that came from.
Oh man, hey yo, this is crazy, yo. I don't know how people actually can think that. Yeah, but this is like a 20-year-old with a 2-digit IQ, I think, because you cannot think that this is going the right.
If that. My God,
Lit-
that's
Litka
crazy.
was charged. Litka was charged with 1 count of criminal trespassing, 1 count of disorderly conduct. St. Matthews police said that the previous day, Litka tried a similar scam at a local Land Rover dealership. There he allegedly presented a check of 12 million in an effort to buy a new Land Rover. Maybe he thought a mere 12 million didn't make him look wealthy enough, so he
Hey.
decided to.
Hey, it's a numbers game, man. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers.
Yeah,
Hey, KR. He was
Oh,
building his funnel. He was just
come on, man. Yo, this is crazy. Litka reportedly stood his ground and wouldn't leave. The 20-year-old was determined to leave with a new Porsche that day. He allegedly walked to the rear entrance of the dealership and began to look for the car keys. It was at that point that police decided to call police. I'm not.
Yo,
Oh,
do you
man.
remember
This is
what's
crazy.
the movie called? Catch Me If You Can. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
DiCaprio. Oh
Yeah.
man, this guy was just like, give me the keys. Here's the check. 20-year-old.
Come
Oh
on.
my God. It's
Oh,
crazy, man.
some people are just doomed to fail in life. Okay, let's go to the next topic real quick. The real cost of working from home. A Texas man who made 1.7 million in illegal profits after eavesdropping on his BP executive wife phone calls has been charged with insider trading.
Can you repeat that one more time?
A Texas man who made 1.7 million, almost 1.8, in illegal profits after eavesdropping on his BP, the oil company, executive wife's phone calls has been charged with insider trading.
Of course.
Tyler London overheard his wife, Emily Krause, a merger and acquisition manager at BP, conducting internal discussions about the oil conglomerate's planned takeover of Travel Centers of America while he was working from home. London, who was an energy engineer, proceeded to purchase 46,450 shares of Travel Center stock without his wife's knowledge before the deal was made public in February last year. When BP announced it was buying Travel Centers of America at a 75% premium, London immediately sold all his shares, making a 1.7 million profit. When Cross discovered his betrayal, she informed her bosses at BP, who found she had not acted improperly, but fired her anyways.
Mm.
Guess what happened after that?
She
It's easy. What would you do in that situation?
called the police on the husband.
She filed divorce. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. Is that an easy thing?
That's the easy thing because he betrayed her. She lost all. She lost. She probably left
The the
their ass.
question is, did she file it to receive alimony from the money earned?
Let me tell you this. So what happened after he pleaded guilty? Guess what happened? He
They
had to give
seized
the
everything.
1.7 back.
Yeah, yeah, they seized
So
everything.
now he's without money and without a wife.
And he's bummed about at least one of those two. I think that it's very. I think this is a perfect example of being in a relationship with someone. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say a bum, but I'm not like that. You would definitely say a
You're
bum.
uplifting bums.
No. What I'm saying is when you're in a you no, your partner,
Mm-hmm.
right? Your other half, your husband or wife, that person is that person can make or break you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
And a lot of times we underestimate that as people when
Mhm.
making choices about who we will pair up with and build a life together with. Because this woman was probably laying in bed together with her husband and they were talking, and he's like, how was your day? Oh, you have a big meeting today? Oh, what's going on? Okay. A sale and purchase or a move. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, but it's gonna mean that XYZ. You don't say. The woman probably thought that she could trust him. And then that guy turns around and does something like that. Career over. Opportunities over. It's not her fault. But, well, so you have two things, right? Right? You have two things. You have who's who's responsible and who did it. And she wasn't the one that did it, but they are saying that you're responsible because you had to secure the space before you were meeting with us.
Yeah,
And
that's
in
what the
corporate,
people saying.
yeah, and in the corporate world, hats need to roll. Someone
In
is
situations like this.
someone in situations like this. Someone is responsible. Someone needs to lose his or her job. If anything, to make an example of.
Yep. You're not a bridge too far to burn in this
Nope.
case. I do think, to be honest, the husband is both the perpetrator and also the responsible for her situation. I don't know whether the dude can pay alimony because it seems like the greed was for a reason. He was trying to get one up. He's trying to level himself up because it seems they said he's an engineer and she's an executive. So that tells me all I need to know about this situation. He thought he had one. He thought he can elevate. This is stupid behavior.
But an
This is
engineer
very
can.
stupid.
What job did she have? No,
She
no.
was
So the background.
her background is mergers and acquisition manager.
So that's merger and acquisition is a high. There's a lot of responsibilities. A very stressful job,
Hmm. And he is
and
an
it's not like
energy
being an
engineer.
yeah, An engineer, you can also get great jobs, but he's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
not working corporate. So compared,
It's still a level higher, I think. She was probably making more money than him. He was trying to get his weight up. He thought, hey, I got this one. Oh man, this is
hey,
stupidity at its best,
hey,
bro.
the woman said, or he was thinking to himself. Now the woman didn't say anything, but maybe he was thinking to himself, "Oh man, I'm watching all these videos about man need to provide. She'll she'll
He got
leave me. She'll leave me if I don't earn more than her. So I don't want her to feel like I'm living off her back. So what will I do? I'll go behind her back.
Was he the one who posted on Reddit?
Oh man, yo, yo, guys,
Was he trying
the
to
ca-
get one up on
uh,
her?
the, if you've skipped a part to understand this joke, you need to watch the first part, the first segment of this show, of the Thursday show. Nah, man, but whatever it is, KR, it's very, it's a shame.
Stupid. It's
It's a
stupid
shame.
behavior. You got to
Yes, it's a
understand
shame.
when something. I mean, if your spouse or whoever your partner is, even if just to explain the insider trading, anything. If your spouse, best friend, doesn't even have to be. It just have to be a friend, someone who you're connected with. If they
Yep.
tell you something about a change corporate wise and you buy stocks and a huge amount, depending, it sometimes it I don't know what the minimum is. It depends on the situation, I think, but it will trigger a investigation.
Yeah. If you
And
want to avoid that, guys, become a politician. Because
that's the only,
allegedly, that's what
well,
they're saying at
I don't
least.
know. I don't know if it's a legend. If if politicians are beating the stock market by a huge margin, which is almost impossible with people that's their profession.
Mhm.
They can beat the market, and politicians usually beat it. So maybe it's not only a legend, but for now it is a legend.
Yeah, for now it is. In any case, um, yeah. Any more stories?
Oh,
No.
let's wrap it
All
up.
right,
Let's wrap
that's
it
right.
up
All
for
right,
everyone who wants to go find their own midget now.
all right, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's been a pleasure to serve you once more. Remember to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with when we drop new videos. Comment, let us know your thoughts and opinions on the topics we discuss. Share the video with your friends, your family, and your enemies. And don't forget to like the video so YouTube pushes the video in the algo world, in the YouTubeverse. Oh, this is the second time I'm realizing that this is the second time I'm trying this. It's not going over well. YouTubeverse. In any case, it's been a pleasure to serve you once more, and we'll see each other in the next one. Until next time,
Peace.
peace.